Lindsey and Aaron sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby carriage.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Hey y'all, welcome to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsey Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And on this 20th episode, we are talking about the new year.
So listen up.
Let's go.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Welcome back. It's a new year.
Yes,
Welcome
2021.
2021, not 2021.
Not 2021.
You
2021.
Okay.
Our 21.
21. Why not 2021? You got to explain it.
Because it says 2021 as in the year 2021, W-O-N.
Oh, because 2021.
Yeah,
They
but
won.
it didn't.
It didn't win.
No.
Because we're here.
We're here.
In 21.
21.
No, okay, y'all. Welcome back to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsey Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And we have been going over our New Year's resolutions, right? As most people do, it's kind of like this almost crossing the finish line. You reflect and then you restart into something new.
Yeah, you project forward.
Right.
So what my family's been doing for years, my dad used to make these goal sheets, right? And you have to write down what your goals are for the year, what your goals are for 5 years, 10 years, and stuff like that. As I got older, I took over the mantle of making the goal sheets, and I brought Lindsey into the fold, and she does them every year as well. So this episode, we're going to go over our recap of 2020, and then we're going to project forward and manifest 2021.
Yes.
And that's, I mean, it's all about goals, right? Because what is it? A goal without a plan is a wish?
Is a dream.
Yeah, something like that, right? We're making it up.
It's something, you write it down. What we know and what we believe is you write it down and you make it plain, and the Lord will bless it. So, yes. So, here we are. We have our goal sheet here. And by the way, I am always under the belief that it is never too late to start anew. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, that's a good idea, I should do a goal sheet, but it's the new year. Let's start it now. You can always DM us or, email us, call us, whatever you want, and I can email it to you. Okay. So let's start. 2020. 2020 year in review. Let's talk about it. So much happened.
Yeah, let's just go straight for the sheet, because if we talk about all the things that happened,
you're right,
mainly COVID, then we're going to go down a rabbit hole.
Okay, so this is really just 2020 year in review. We have accomplishments and we have challenges. This is how we're looking at our goal sheet literally right now. So let's talk about, what do you give me, if you want, 3 of your accomplishments that you wrote down?
3 off the bat.
Yes.
First one off bat is this podcast. We set out to do a podcast, and this is our 20th episode.
Wow.
And we were doing it every other Friday. Then it moved to every Friday quite quickly, right?
Yeah.
And so we've been doing this every Friday since August 22nd, our wedding anniversary. And that's one of my great accomplishments, that we pulled it together and did it.
Yes.
So what's one of yours?
One of my biggest accomplishments is teaching action every day. And honestly, that started with more consistency during this quarantine stay at home. So, at the top of the year, I saw this thing called January, February, March, quarantine, December. It was something like that, right? Because we were just, where were we in life? But literally, I'm telling you, March hit and we moved to LA, and it was like something sparked within me to have daily learning sessions with our son. And I'm so proud of that.
That's great. You do a great job.
Thank you.
I watch her when I'm actually up, and I say, like, man, that's a good mom right there. So
Yeah.
and he's ready in the morning. And you picked the morning because you were like, oh, he's ready to learn in the morning, right?
Yeah, you know how they say, take your cues, especially when they're young. You kind of take your cue off of them. You're molding them to help them, but you also have to follow their lead a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So accomplishment number 2 for me.
Mm-hmm. You can just give us your top 2. We're not even going to do 3.
Okay, that's cool. Let's
do 2.
Accomplishment number 2. I haven't gotten COVID.
Praise God.
Yeah. And I know that's, might be...
No, it's a huge
It's a huge deal.
deal.
Like my mom has diabetes and my dad had a stroke and
you went back and forth
yeah,
to New York.
and I went back and forth to New York.
Which is we're in California. You went to New York. These are big states.
Yeah, and I was on that plane looking like a hazmat person, and I took COVID, and I'm still taking COVID very seriously, and I'm so happy that I haven't got it. And
yeah, you did what you need to do.
Yeah, and I haven't infected people that I love. Mm-hmm. So
that's a big one. And literally, I've been saying, if you make it, we all made it. Yeah, you made it to the end of the year, and you made it, and you're healthy in your mind and your body. That's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment. We could have started there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my second accomplishment is going back to school.
Ooh.
It was a difficult decision, but the accomplishment really isn't for me. It's for you and for like my mom and for and Michael, my sister-in-law, and Shantae, my other future sister-in-law, and all the people that helped Watch Action. Like, they helped me to spend time learning something new, which I love to do. So that's an accomplishment for all of y'all out there.
All right, so we got 2 accomplishments.
Yes.
And as we go down the list, it goes from accomplishments to challenges. One of my challenges this year that I'm still going through, I'm still learning how to maintain, is I am in a house that is not my own. Like, we have a roommate now. As much as your mom loves us and she loves the family, she loves Action, we were independent. We were in New York, independent, and I could do what I want. We could argue. We could argue if we want. Not that I love to argue or anything.
No,
but,
yeah, you can have a certain tone
yes.
without having someone to overhear you and say, "What's that tone?"
Mm-hmm.
Or to think even that somebody's going to come in, or
because your mom's a marriage counselor. So if we're talking to each other and she's overhearing it, I'm like, oh man,
she might bring it up later. Maybe not in the moment, but she'll be like, "Hey, I was,"
And so that's one of my challenges, to be an adult, right, and living with my parent. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting through it, and we know it's the circumstance that it is, and I love your mom. So it's not about her. It's more about,
of course,
just me being an adult, and
it's an adjustment. I mean, because, and I think anyone listening is going to understand that if you take a situation where you are completely and utterly independent, and you take that and you move it into a shared situation, even if it wasn't anything but you have to put on clothes. Let me speak for myself.
I was like, you naked.
I am naked. I'm the type of person, y'all, where if you coming to visit me, you can always drop by, but you're going to be waiting a good 2 to 5 minutes outside while I put on my clothes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, and so here we can't. So it's a difference.
So what's one of your challenges?
One of my challenges, and still a challenge, I might put this down every year. I'm just going to share this one.
Okay.
Is continuing to be patient. Don't say anything else. The thing is with me is I know that my patience has grown. I remember the first time that I prayed for my patience, and I was outside of Fordham, my undergrad school. I can remember the day, and I was in a rush to graduate, even though I did graduate a year early. But I remember praying to God saying, man, something is within me that is like my timing. And this year was kind of the same thing. Some things kind of irritated me and I lost patience. And so that was a challenge, just continuing to have patience and keep my tone right and keep my mind right and not be frustrated. And it's something that I've gotten better, and there's still so much to go.
Well, praise God for that.
All right.
All right. So that is the first part. And then we go into decisions, right? So we did challenges, we did accomplishments, and now we go into decisions. There's two parts for this. There's the good decisions, and then there are the I would have done differently decisions. So we don't like saying that they're bad decisions, with keeping with the positivity and knowing what words are coming out of our mouth. So we're not going to say bad decisions, but we're just saying decisions we would have done differently in hindsight. So you could go first, baby.
Okay.
Let's do a good decision.
All right. One of my good decisions is starting this podcast.
Oh.
And the reason why it's so huge and we magnify it is because anybody who knows about something that you have to do weekly, it takes a commitment, right? And so we're entering into this new commitment. We've committed to each other. We're committing to ourselves in another way. And it's something that we previously talked about. Like we've said, maybe 4 years ago that we said we were going to start, and it just never came to fruition. But this year was timing. Again, right timing. We said we were going to do it. And the good decision was, and each time we got frustrated with each other, to continue to do it. Say, okay, we are going to be consistent. We are going to put this out weekly. And it's something that we can really see it makes a difference with people. So yeah. I love that. And it makes me smile thinking about it being a good decision.
That was a good decision.
What about you?
My good decision was to go to New York in July and get our stuff pre-packed. And we rented it out to an Airbnb for a while. And so that was one of my good decisions, that I was just like, okay,
we have to get this done.
And I went out to do it because you didn't want me to leave originally.
I never want you to
leave. Yeah, you don't. And you
and
get really sad. You get really sad when I leave.
You know, if it was up to me, you would never leave. But yeah, it was something that we needed to do for the family.
So that was one of my good decisions, that I went out there, I got some stuff done. Handling business is always a good decision, even though you don't want to. So that was one of my good decisions. Second good decision for me would be, it was kind of like your decision, but I allowed it, I guess, is coming out here to New York. Coming out here to LA. So that was a good decision. We packed up. We thought we were going to be here for 30 days. We ended up being here for the rest of the year. But I feel like that was a good decision because if we were in New York, one, the weather is crazy. And two, the village that we have out here, even though we do have a village in New York, the village that we have out here is more accessible, right? Because people have cars out here, people have houses out here, and the sunshine action can go outside. Our son, our dog can go on walks all the time, and it's just helpful. We can go on Sundays and get food from my auntie who cooks every Sunday and stuff like that. So I really feel like us coming out here, even though it is a challenge to be independent when you're fully dependent on your village, it was a good decision to come out to Los Angeles. And that brings us to the decisions I would have done differently. So, do you want me to go or I'll go?
You go. Go ahead.
So, one of the decisions that I would have done differently was not sign the lease. And the bigger scale of that one is
sign our lease in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Re-sign.
Re-sign the lease in New York. And the lease was kind of like the forefront of it, but in the back, to me, it was waiting for something to happen, right? Instead of making things happen, I felt like I was sitting there waiting for, your job to come back and us to go back to New York instead of like making a plan and doing and pursuing something. And I feel like that was one of the decisions that I would have done differently. I would have took initiative. I would have found something or found ways, because we were signing the lease saying, okay, everything's going to come back to normal. And me thinking that, I feel like it set me back just a little bit. So that's something I would have done differently. Is there something you would have done differently?
I would have not been in such a rush to come to LA, because we always talk about how it was a good thing that we literally, Broadway shut down and we came out on the next smoking gun to LA. We were like, let's get out of Dodge. But the reality is that we left, like you said, thinking we were going to be here for 3 weeks, and we kept our dates to return back to work kept being pushed back and pushed back. And had we just waited, honestly, a little bit, I could have better prepared, and that would have made life in LA a little bit easier, like our first 4 months here, because we left, and I think I packed for us, because I do all the packing for us. You packed some basketball shorts. I packed panties like I always do, because I always have something here to wear. And I packed Action's clothes and his diapers, and that's it. We left everything there, and we didn't go back for the stuff that I love, the sentimental things.
You haven't been back.
And then I haven't been back, so we got rid of that apartment without me ever going back. You didn't go back to get the stuff until December. So we're talking March to December, and we could always say those things are just material things, and I completely understand that. It's not, in hindsight, it's not a big deal, but something I would have done differently would have been to just wait a little, maybe a week, pack differently, take my time, and but we didn't know.
Yeah,
we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know. So last thing on the recap of 2020 is basically your thoughts and your feelings about last year, anything that you learned about last year that you could take forward, or if you just want to you just want to leave that year behind you, and this is the part where we just do a little recap on that. So ladies first at all times.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thoughts and reflections on last year. I am looking at the present, and the present day I am here with you, and that makes me smile. I am talking to my friends and family and people that I've grown closer to. So I think that while in reflecting, the year was challenging. The year was challenging, and it could bring me to tears if I really went down and what happened this year and who we lost and, places that we've been. But here on this day, today, I'm grateful. What about you, baby?
So last year taught me that you need to be prepared for any and everything, and really to prioritize the important things in your life. Like at the end of the year, I have Christmas, I have Action, I have you, right? And I'm happy, I'm filled with jubilee. So I just feel like last year taught me more so to appreciate the things that we have, right? And hold on to the things that are really important, and things are going to figure itself out. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and if you have a plan, sometimes you have to be flexible, right?
Absolutely.
Don't let that plan being sidetracked deter you from the ultimate goal. And we're going to talk about goals in the next segment. But like right now, we have a different background because the place where we usually record, there's lots of noise and stuff, but we're keep doing that. We didn't let that deter us, and we're we're still doing the podcast. Or when I was in New York, we still did the podcast. So sometimes your plan does get sidetracked, but just keep going. And that's one of the things I learned about last year. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that we stayed safe, and I'm grateful as well. Welcome to the Am I Wrong segment of First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. This is the first Am I Wrong of the year.
So start it off right.
So I am going to start it off right.
Okay.
We all know about toilet paper, right? And there's like a huge debate between people of going over the toilet paper and going under. I used to be an under guy, and I got married, and Lindsey converted me to or over.
Paper
right?
flows down. You pull it down.
So that is not a discussion in our house. Lindsey has done something, and you have to tell me, am I wrong? And I took a picture. I'll put the picture right here. Lindsey does this thing now where she gets new toilet paper. Say the toilet paper runs out, and it's the brown little cardboard thing. Instead of replacing the toilet paper, she just takes the new roll and puts it on top of the toilet paper roll. And I do have picture evidence that she does this, and I waited days to see if she would do it.
We gonna start doing this?
And she did not do it until maybe today. She waited New Year to turn over the toilet paper. And am I wrong? Should I just replace it, even though she was the one who used the last of the roll and she got new toilet paper? Or should Lindsey do it? So
Okay. First of all, listen. There's a lot of circumstances that happen when I'm refilling the toilet paper, okay? It could be late at night and I gotta go get it from another place. We've already said that this is not our home, so I gotta go, it's not just under the cabinet sink like usual, because we don't have that here. Or action could be trying to come in, use the potty. We're doing potty training right now. So it's a lot of circumstances. I think that if something needs to be picked up or replaced, whoever sees it should just do it. That's what I think.
Wow, I let you speak longer, and that's what you use it for. But you can tell us if I'm wrong.
You can DM us. First Comes Love, TCM on Instagram.
Or you can call the voicemail at 347 TRU-LOVE. That's TRU-LOVE, 347-878-5683.
Or you can email us at letstalk@firstcomeslove.com. Welcome back, y'all. So we are moving on to our 2021 goals. Okay, and the goal sheet has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. The goal sheet has 5 categories of goals that we set. We kind of break them up in categories so that you could really put a focus on something. And the first category is, what is your 2021 goals for your spiritual goals? And that's your relationship between you and God, no one else. So I'll share one of my goals. And this is a goal that I set every year, is to be in my word daily. And that might seem so simple, but sometimes life gets a hold and whatever happens and you lose track. And really, that's just something implanted in my heart, to be in my word daily. And I have the Bible Word app on my phone. And so if I get in a rush, that will suffice. But I want that to be in my heart. And so that's it. What you got, baby?
Let's just do one. So my one would be praying more, and not praying more so like a wish list, like Jesus is a magical genie, but just having conversations. I know Auntie Alice, someone that we reconnected with this year. Mm-hmm. Whenever there's anything, she stops and she prays immediately, and I saw that as impactful, and it's uplifting to to have that, right?
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I saw last year that I was like, man, that if my first inclination is to go to God,
Yep.
like you always do this, and I like it. You say praise God, like off jump. If something happens, you're like praise God, and that is praying. And I feel like I want to do that more, and so that's one of my spiritual goals. These are personal goals for us, and we do love our listener family. So we're only going to do one, maybe two goals each.
But on the sheet, there's room for 3.
There's room for 3, and you can always do more.
Yes.
So we're just gonna go through 1 or 2. All right. So what's the next category?
The next category is family or social.
Family/social.
Okay.
And that's because, like we said in previous episodes, you choose your family. Like as you get older, your friends become your family. You get to pick and choose who your family is, and so your social setting might become your family, or vice versa, or if you want to reconnect or anything like that. So do you have a goal that you would like to share?
Absolutely. One of my goals is to connect with someone outside of my circle weekly.
Okay.
And the reason why that's a goal is because the people inside my circle is a lot in and of itself, right? Because you have a huge family, I have a huge family, and there are certain people that I always speak to, and I want to be able to speak to people that I haven't spoken to. You know those people, the people that you think about, but you actually don't call them. And when I say connect, I mean I actually want to call them. Because I do send text messages, but I want to speak to them, leave them a voicemail, or, and actually hear their...
Have a connection.
What about you, baby?
I would like to get to know the older generation a little bit more. I feel like over the last 2 years, 2019, 2020, I've been learning a lot about older people and their obituary, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that about. Oh, I didn't know. Man, this is so fascinating about this person and that person. And I only have one uncle left, my dad's older brother, so I want to get to know him more. My aunties, because all these people have lived lives before us, and they've had either similar experiences or they had like totally different experiences. I want to know about their experiences and their life before their life is over. And I know that last year a lot of people lost people, and they always say like, I wish I had more time, to get to know somebody. So this year I want to connect with older people.
Okay, that's a good one. The next category is physical.
Oof.
So what? yeah. What are your physical goals for 2021?
So if anybody knows me, I have had the same physical goals,
and that's all right,
for years. It's to dunk a basketball, and to have 6-pack abs. And you know what happens is I write down these goals and I never have a plan for them. And so I never complete these goals. Right now, my stomach is probably the biggest. I might not be weight-wise the biggest I've ever been, but my stomach is probably the biggest it's ever been. And I did not help it this holiday season at all. Don't shake your head, baby.
No, we reflected.
Okay.
We come on now.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay, and so this year I'm putting the same goal. I'm putting dunk a basketball.
Yes.
Because I love basketball so much. And one of the things now is I'm putting a court out here that is regulation that can go up and down. So now I have access to a court anytime I want to. That's really going to help my goal. And the 6-pack is going to come from, truthfully, like being focused, dieting, and exercising. And I always said that I want to get down to my wedding weight, and that was 170 pounds. So 6 foot, 170, that's like I don't know. But you know what? Let's say I'll go to my fiance weight to 185. If I get down to 185, on, let's pick a date, January, February, March. Let's do 3 months. So 185 in 3 months. And then from there, I'll do another 3-month check-in and see if I want to lose or if I want to build muscle or something like that. So that's 2 of my goals. Dunk a basketball by the end of the year on a 10-foot court and be 185 pounds. Right now, I'm estimating I'll probably weigh myself a little bit after this, but I'll estimate 210 maybe. I'm 210. So 185 by March 1st. Ugh.
You got it, baby.
All right, what you got, babe? Physical.
Whew,
Let's
yeah.
get physical.
He's being so transparent with you. It's just blowing my mind right now. I love it. I love the vulnerability because you're sharing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you one of my physical goals, and that is to meditate. I actually got into meditation this year. I don't think I did it before this year. I did yoga, previously and what have you, but I didn't actually sit and just literally like put my palms on my heart or up, or wherever and sit and meditate. And I started doing that when an Instagram friend of mine, she had these classes. And I'm going to find it. I can't remember the name of it, but she would have different one of her friends. It was called social distancing something. And one of the people was a meditation person. And literally I got on it and it was nice. We were sitting there. I'm telling you, it was like Zoom live in silence. I might have heard a chime or a wave and I loved it. So one of my goals physically is to meditate. And I am going to make, like you said, it's a goal, but how do we do that? We have to put it into a plan. So I'm going to put it into a plan. I'll get back to you on how that's going, on what I can do daily, if it's going to be day or night or where it sits. But I am planning to meditate daily.
Okay. So that's what, 3?
That's
3
number
down?
3. Yes.
All right. So we have 2 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's speed it up. We got financial, and what's the very last one?
The last one is educational.
All right, so I'm gonna clump those together just for time's sake. So I would like to grow this podcast. I don't know how many subscribers we have right now, but if we could get maybe, say we get like 200 reviews or 200 5-star ratings, right? That would be a good goal of mine, to grow the brand. And I'll also, for education purposes, I would like to know how to get more followers or read more books about relationships, because we're talking about our relationship and our experience, but I would like to get other people's experiences and have that in my repertoire, and also learn how to do a podcast with, maybe there's somebody over in Wisconsin or Florida, and I would like to maybe interview them, but have the same quality that we have, that our listeners are used to. So me learning how to do, because truthfully, we're doing this without the experience of doing a podcast. So we're learning more about this outlet. And so I would like to learn more and more about the podcast scene and outlet and culture.
And one thing I'm thinking is, our season is going to come to an end. We are doing 22 episodes, and this is episode 20. So, wow, we only have 2 more. And during our off season is really going to be a huge time for growth for us. We're not going to be doing nothing. We're going to be doing something great in preparation for season 2. So I'm excited about that, because when you said it, I instantly thought, people are going to get back to us and say, oh, this is what you should do, or this is who you should call, and this is how you should network. And then in our off season, we're going to be preparing and lining up those people so that we can put out something new and exciting. Yeah. So, okay, for me, my career goal is to go back to work strong. And I say that knowing that it is going to happen.
Oh, sorry. Say what you do. So people, if they never know.
I am a Broadway dancer. And Broadway is shut down and has been shut down since March. Okay. So we know that we're coming back sometime next year. And Lord willing, it is sometime next year. Because I say that because we thought we was coming back anytime last year. It didn't happen. So, anywho, this year, 2021, we're coming back sometime this year. And when I go back, the goal is to come back strong. And so we've been off. My body has been doing what it does, when you're off. And so I know that there are some things that I need to put into fruition and in place so that I can go back and be the strongest physically and mentally that I can be for work. So that's my career goal. My educational goal will be, it has to do with reading. Honestly, I love to learn, and I'm going to take that and actually put that, like you said, into a podcast goal, because we have a lot of things that we have coming up. And with that, books are involved.
Yeah.
We're reading and we're learning and we're growing. So that's it. Those are the 5 categories. And again, if you want this list, let us know. The last thing that we have here
is forecasting, manifesting, and planning. And so that's basically you visualizing your goals and writing them down. And one thing that I like to do is to kind of zone out, look at myself in the future, look at future Aaron, right? Look at future husband Aaron, future father Aaron, and describe what that is. Describe what he's doing that I should be doing in preparation to become him and stuff like that. But we're not necessarily gonna say our forecasting, because that's a real personal thing. But we can do some affirmations. All right, so you do affirmation, I do affirmation. You go first because you're better than me. And go.
I am brilliant and wonderful in my mind, body, and spirit.
And mine is, I am happy and I have everything I need. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank y'all for joining us on our 20th episode. The new year is here. Reach out to us, DM us, First Comes Love, TCM on Instagram.
Or you could call the voicemail at 347 TRU-LOVE. That is True Love. That's 347-878-5683.
Or you can email us at letstalk@firstcomeslove.thenComesMarriage.com. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you next Friday. End of 2020. So that's good.
Yes. So if you want to
twerk with me, and twerk away.
So reach out to us. You can wait. What did I do?
I thought you were starting all over.
I can start over. I start over.
And
episode. We're talking about the new year,
and we're talking about goals. So let's go. I don't say let's go, huh? I say listen up.
I don't bring up every time. I don't even know what to say.
What? Yes, I got it. Speechless.
Okay.
I wouldn't have signed that lease in August.
You're
what?
Looking at my list.
I'm not looking at your list.
Y'all. Oh
you told me to go first.
And then he played me like this. It's fine. I would not have go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
You go. You take it. Take it, baby. Take it away.
I'm just astonished.
Get it together. Get it together. And okay. Okay.
Jeez. Okay. Go. Talk. Go ahead.